So everyone, so now we are in the era we call digital era, and the digital era has revolutionized the field of entertainment, and there is fundamental changes in how people consume and consider entertainment. Entertainment now sits in the center of our existence. Harvard Group have conducted study around in these 37 countries, and here to share the findings, and please join me in welcoming on the stage Mr. Melvin Lim, Managing Partner, Harvard Vietnam.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, clients. Good morning, hopefully, future clients. I'd like to thank the MMA for inviting Havas to come and talk to or share with you a very difficult topic. It's very difficult because it's predictive, it's projections into a future. So the worst case scenario is I could get it all wrong, but the best thing about it is you wouldn't know. Well, not for at least another year. The future of entertainment, it's a difficult thing to predict, but we increase the accuracy by doing a research across 37 markets, of which Vietnam is one of them. We interviewed and surveyed 17,400 people, 17,400 prosumers. Now, what are prosumers? These are guys who are consumers who are ahead of at the front end of the consumer trend curve. These are opinion leaders, early adopters, beta testers, subject matter experts from a consumer point of view. These are the guys who we talk to because it allows us to know what's coming today. So what do they say about the future of marketing, and what does it mean for you as marketers and agency people? One of the big findings that we got from this research that was done in May is that entertainment now is more important as a need than even paying attention to your health. It won't be the strangest thing, ladies and gentlemen, that one day in college, we will be taught that Maslow's hierarchy of needs will have, at the most basic level, entertainment. But it's about getting the next fix. Consumers want a lot of entertainment. They want quality stuff. And you may be one of these guys now. We are or will be an entertainment junkie. It is a drug. At the moment, it's, for the prosumers, it's 60%, but in places like Brazil, it's as high as 85%. So, the point of this is, if you're doing ads, try to make it entertaining, make it content-based. Yeah, stories. People want to be watching something, consuming content, every minute of the day. They can't stand still without consuming content. This is happening in China. It's crazy. I walk a dog. These guys walk a TV show. And they want more. They want entertainment in some of the most unlikely places, but they want entertainment in education. They want entertainment at work. They want entertainment when they're doing their house chores. But interestingly enough, well, understandably so, they don't want so much entertainment when it comes to serious things like religion and politics. And in terms of entertainment at work, if you ever get a chance to go to a Google office in Singapore, you can see how they inject fun within the infrastructure of the office. This need for entertainment is much more apparent with younger people. It's strange. People at my age, I'm in the nearer the 55 years and older generation. We're a lot more confident. We don't need to always entertain our friends or showcase our life on social media. But the young people find it a huge need to always show an entertaining lifestyle on social media, and they have a certain need to always have to entertain their friends. So either we're having a generation of jokers and comedians and entertainers, but that need is there. And the basis, or rather the source of material for them, will come from entertainment and content, stuff that you guys do. In fact, consumers are telling us that entertainment enriches their lives when it becomes conversations with their friends. I do have a lot of stats. Don't copy them down. These decks, this deck is going to be made available for you. So now you know why consumers need so much entertainment. Now I'm going to talk about what makes great entertainment. It's value beyond binge watching. Now the equation to make great content is absolutely simple. But the way to do it is terribly difficult. You need instant excitement. Yeah, that's the entertainment part. But today, consumers want this thing called meaningfulness, purpose. Incidentally, Havas has another research called Meaningful Brands, of which consumers have told us that if 81% of brands disappear tomorrow, they won't miss them because they're not meaningful. They don't enhance their lives in any way. So the equation to make great content is simple. Instant excitement plus meaningfulness. Great content must also, and this is very important, look at the numbers there, create long-lasting impact. I'm going to show you a video, and I think if you've seen it, it does create long-lasting impact on you.
The relationship between me and my father is definitely unique.
So you see any people out here? Not really.
We're definitely very close. I kind of have more of a friendship with him than some of my friends and their fathers have. Today is a way to say thank you to my father, definitely to honor him as well, because of how much he's always done for me. My father's been blind since birth, but nevertheless, he's always been a huge car guy, just a total petrol head. And so that's obviously why he became a mechanic. He just loves cars and everything about them. The touch, the smell, the feel of them. My father's number one dream is to drive a car. I know he's never really gotten that experience. You know, most of us take that for granted every day. We just get in it. But for my father, that's the number one experience that he wants to have in his life. Today is definitely a way to say thank you to my father. If there's anyone that's deserving, it's him. You know, this is the number one thing on his bucket list. I think he's definitely going to be smiling and excited and just really surprised.
Oh my God. I need my daughter to help me. All right. Here, come here, Bridge, come here.
Dear Bart, we heard about your lifelong dream of driving all by yourself, and we are more than happy to make this happen.
How fast we are? Okay, going. You're only going 110 miles an hour, dude.
Mercedes didn't sell a car on this piece of content. They never promoted the car. They told a story about how they made an old man who's blind and his dream come true. Content has also got to be empowering and educational. Consumers demand that. I'm going to show you another video about how Microsoft empowered students from different universities from around the world to network together using OneNote, which is a software that they have, to solve problems for people.
So just gonna go down here. We're looking for 912.
Hey, Alex, how are you? Pleasure to meet you. have another bionics expert on hand, so I thought I'd drop by.
Thank you.
Yes, a pleasure. Nice bow tie, by the way.
Thanks.
How were your travels?
It's very good.
Well, I thought I'd bring one of my gauntlets and match it up with yours and see if everything's copacetic. You want to have a look?
Sure.
Ready?
Yep.
Great.
Each one looks the same.
Actually, I think yours might be better than mine. What do you say we both try them on, do a progress report?
Okay.
You know who that is?
Iron Man.
What's his name?
Robert.
Great. God, dude, it's even cooler than I thought. I'm having a technical glitch. As you can see, my light isn't working. Half the time, you know, I design one of these, it winds up breaking on me. But what I do is I keep working on it, kind of like you're working on it with Albert.
He keeps working and working until he gets it right.
Yeah, I think yours is still a little bit more right than mine because at least, you know,
The lights work.
your light works, yeah. Oh, look at that, Dan. It's a marriage of robotic technologies. Bang, nailed it. Love it. Hey, good job, Albert.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Albert has made it so affordable. I'm probably going to start farming out a lot of my tech work to Albert too. I feel like he could cut the price point down on one of my suits, which right now is, I guess, about, I don't know, $1.5 billion.
So the real hero in this is really that guy called Roberto Monero or something. He's a student, he's an aviation engineering student from the University of Florida, and he's making now these prosthetic arms for a meager $350 US. He's going to be able to help a lot of limbless people. Oops. Okay, I'll talk about now how entertainment actually impacts you as a person, or your community, or even a country. Now, as a brand, this is of great concern to you. What happens in the entertainment space, in pop culture, actually influences consumers in their brand choice, in how they wear things, in how they look, in how they behave, because entertainment shapes your personality and attitudes. But to be meaningful, you need to always filter every piece of content that you make, that it should try to inspire people, educate, and expose your consumers to new cultures, new experiences, new places. These are filters that you should run through whenever you're building content. But also content carries a heavy responsibility. The responsibility of promoting positive moral values. Now, consumers are saying content should promote things like respect, openness, perseverance, and generosity. If you watch any Disney animated film, there is always an underlining positive moral value. For instance, Lion King is about facing your greatest fears. Mulan is about challenging gender norms. Those things, yeah? And content is very unifying. It brings the world together. For instance, when Prince Harry married Meghan Markle, nearly 2 billion people around the world from different countries all tuned into their screens at the very same time to observe the wedding ceremony. It brings people together. The sad side of content is also when, you know, artists die. In 2016, David Bowie, Prince, Carrie Fisher all passed away. The world and their fans mourn together. Even politicians are realizing now that one of the best ways to communicate with their constituents is through entertainment. This is Trump doing parodies on Game of Thrones. But there is a reset in entertainment, and we need to be aware of this. There are 3 shifts that are happening. The first is, we used to be fans of singular artists, musicians. Today, that's not the case. Today, consumers are saying, as long as there's music that suits my mood for the moment, that's all I care about. And very interestingly, 1/3 of consumers today are saying, if my favorite artist disappears tomorrow, it really doesn't matter as long as the music continues. And when you do content, Simon Sinek talked about You need to tell stories about why you do things. Yeah? It's the same with content. You don't tell people what you're selling, why it's good. You tell them why you're doing it. And it resonates with consumers a lot more. And even musicians like Lady Gaga are bringing social issues into the songs they sing. Why? Because it's so competitive to be an artist these days. You're competing against YouTubers. Yeah? I'll show you a video of a rapper in the States who are attacking social issues through music.
Inspiration to everybody. Like, all the rappers talk about, like, money, drugs, and everything. No, he speaks for the people. He talks about all the social problems in the world.
And it's talking about social problems that has scored Logic 2 Grammy nominations for his triple platinum hit, 1-800-273-8255. The 27-year-old performed the breakout hit late this summer on MTV's Video Music Awards. The song is named for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Logic was flanked on stage with those that have attempted suicide and those who've lost loved ones to it.
Had you ever thought suicide?
For me, no.
So why was it important for you to talk about it on this album?
I thought it was important to discuss because not only have I witnessed it, you know, with like people I love or seen.
Ultimately, it was his fans that convinced him to tackle such a difficult subject in song.
And they said, you saved my life, or you changed my perspective on how I view the world. And when they said that, I thought to myself how I wasn't even trying to do that. And if you really are telling me that, man, could you imagine what I could do if I actually tried to save somebody's life?
After the Video Music Awards, calls to the helpline jumped by 50%.
I just wanted them to know that they really weren't alone. That's why I write songs like that. That's why I'm myself. That's why I walk around with fanny packs and love sci-fi and say it, because I want people to be themselves, no matter who they are or what they do.
The second shift is algorithms are choosing the content that you watch and read. And we need that because we found out that we're spending too much time seeking out content. In fact, on average, we're spending about an hour a day just seeking out content. But it's also interesting to know that humans being humans actually trust influencers' recommendations more than an algorithm. So whoever is out there who's using a KOL strategy, I hope this reinforces what you're doing. The third shift is video games. It is so huge, it's even bigger than the movie industry in terms of revenue. And video games is now, it now has the same standing in terms of culture with art, movies, books. And it should have been this way for a long time because video games had the birthright to be part of entertainment because it does one thing very well, escapism. It allows consumers to escape from what they are at the present, to become a fighter pilot, a race car driver, to fight in a fantasy war. Yeah? It allowed us to live a second life. I won't show this video, it's just a PlayStation ad about Second Life, but I'll show you another video about how a brand has activated on video games. Oops, sorry.
Ah, morri, mano. 417.
Fanta, gente, aumenta aqui. Fanta.
So Gameloft created this. In fact, for your information, Gameloft has a huge operation in Vietnam with employing 1,700 people across Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi, and Da Nang. You may want to consult them for working on video games and integrating your brand into video games. Last thing about video games, what a shift in attitudes. We all were told to study hard and get a good job. Today, parents are saying, it's okay if my son becomes an esports champion. But we're on the cusp of the future, and there are things that are happening today, right now, that is already broadening the way we consume the way we consume entertainment. It's because of the shifts in content culture. These things are all familiar to you, how we have evolved in a very, very short time. But the brands that I'm going to show you clearly show that the future is in branded entertainment. And what they've done is they've integrated environmental triggers, contextualize things so that it hits you at the right time. It brings people together, allows consumers to create, because there is a deep desire for consumers today to create their own content, and curate media libraries. This is about music. Google Play, Uniform, and Spotify curate playlists depending on your work routines, your mood, your location, and even on holiday, Spotify can create a 25-song playlist, and they have the audacity to even suggest an out-of-office message for your email. I'll skip this, but this happened last week at the Rugby World Cup. This is not new, curating movies and news that you want to read. This is quite interesting, migrating content seamlessly for you. You take a flight, you don't finish the movie. Air France allows you to take that movie with you from where you left off. Very interesting. Nintendo Switch is not new. It allows you to play a game at home and then continue it wherever you are outside from where you left off. Hyundai is creating a car, this is crazy, that integrates in with a house. The driver's seat comes out and it becomes an armchair. The music that you're listening to when you drove in continues on in the house. How that's practical, I don't know. In terms of enhancing your TV watching or screen watching experience, you have brands like Sci-Fi and Philips Hue working together to change the lights in accordance to whatever is happening on screen. Immersive creates this sofa that shakes according to the action that's happening on screen. And Campfire. Campfire is interesting because when you're reading stories to your kid, the lights and the speakers create the mood to back up that story. And lastly, it's about creating your individual identity as a content creator. You can now remix songs based on your heart rate and your location with Phantom. EA Sports has come out with this game called Battlefield where you can actually video capture your gameplay and share it with your friends. And if you are at my age, you know this group called Milli Vanilli. They were lip-syncing hit songs in the 80s, but today there's an app that allows you to video yourself lip-syncing to songs. In fact, there are some up-and-coming YouTubers who became famous because of Musical.ly. So this is my last slide, but I'll just tell you this. Create content that is meaningful, otherwise don't. Know that it has to create a long-lasting impact and be empowering and educational, and make it extremely meaningful to the extent that your brand becomes, hopefully, a culture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Melvin Lim.